Hi and welcome to day 3 of our 7-day challenge. Well done for making it this far. I hope you're feeling okay, I hope you're sleeping well. I hope your legs are feeling grounded and lengthened and the pelvis is now nice and open. And yeah, so today we're going to work a little with our core. So let's begin lying on our backs again as we've been doing the last 2 days. You know where we're going now, into the corpse pose. And let's breathe into our abdomen. So on the inhalation, let's expand into the navel center, so literally where your belly button is. And as you breathe out, draw that space down towards the floor. You might take your hands onto that area if that helps you to get a connection. So you're breathing through the nose, expanding up, tummy into your hands, and exhale, releasing. Just a few more like that, so conscious breath. Okay, and then let's start moving the body. As always, if anything doesn't feel right for you, then stop at any point. But let's just take an inhalation. Let's just draw both knees in towards the chest. So let's hug both knees in towards the chest. You might hold the back of your thighs or your shins, keeping the back of the neck long. Working a little with our core here as we press the lower back down. Working a little with the neck as well, actually, as we keep the chin drawing in towards the throat there. Let's take a breath in, and as we breathe out, let's lift the nose towards the knees. Inhaling the head back down onto the mat. And exhaling nose towards the knees. Inhaling head back down. And last one. Exhaling tummy active, nose to the knees. Inhaling the head back down. And then exhaling, crossing your ankles, reaching for your feet and bringing yourself one way or another all the way up from there. Good, and then come all the way over onto hands and knees, having space behind you. So wrist joints just slightly forward of the shoulder joints, hands shoulder distance apart, knees hip distance. So we did this yesterday. We're going to take an inhalation, lift the head and chest as we lift the sitting bones, moving from your core on the exhalation, tummy towards, or we're lifted away from the mat. And then inhaling, you soften the tummy down to lift the chest, lift the sitting bones. And then exhale, the tummy lifts away from the mat as you round the back of heart to ceiling. So inhaling, you soften the tummy to broaden through the chest and sitting bones. And exhale, the tummy is active, tailbone to the floor, chin to the chest. Continue like this, or this time on your inhalation, lift your right leg, pointing the toes, chest lifts. And exhaling, rounding the back, knee to forehead, forehead to knee. Inhaling, extending that right leg, lift the chest. Exhaling, rounding the back, knee to forehead, forehead to knee. Inhaling, let's extend that right leg, lifting the chest again. And exhale, really rounding the back, lifting the knee towards the forehead. Inhale, extend that right leg. And then exhale the knee down onto the mat. Inhale instead your left leg, pointing the toes, lift the chest. And exhaling, let's round the back, chin to the chest. Inhaling, extending the left leg, opening the heart. Exhaling, knee to nose, nose to knee. Inhale, tummy softens as you lift. Exhale, tummy active, nose to knee. Inhale, extend that left leg, lifting the chest. And exhale, let's release the left knee down onto the mat, sitting bones towards the heels, hands extended forward. Downward facing dog again, come onto hands and knees, tuck the toes under, take an inhalation, knees away from the mat, find that length through the spine again. So heels lifted, knees bent, lovely long arms, hands pressing or finger joint bases pressing to the mat. Lengthening into the back body, heels in the direction of the mat. And then we'll take an inhalation forward into our plank pose. And if plank is too strong, bring the knees immediately down onto the mat. Otherwise, shoulder joints as far as you can tell anyway over the wrist joints. Tummy active, crown of head lengthening forward, heels pressing back, chest lifted, so it's as if your collarbones smiling, even if you don't feel like smiling. Collarbones smiling. Good. And then on an exhalation, knees down, chest, chin down, 8 limb pose. And inhale, slide through, pubic bone on the mat, elbows in, tailbone lengthening. Exhaling back into downward facing dog. Let's do that again. So let's take an inhalation forward into our plank pose, lifting through the breastbone, core active here. Breathing, shoulders down as much as you can. Straight long line, press through the heels, and on an exhalation, knees, chest, chin on the mat, elbows in. Inhale, slide through into baby cobra. And then exhaling, take downward facing dog. And then we're going to take an inhalation, come forward into our plank pose, and exhale, lower tummies down onto the mat. Okay, so from there, let's bring the elbow joints underneath the shoulder joints with the hands forward there. So wrist joints, elbow joints, shoulder joints as best as you can, all shoulder distance apart. And then we're going to come into, and a bit of a challenge sometimes is the week of challenge, however, we're going to come into plank on the forearms. So keep the shoulders above the elbow joints there, tuck the toes under. If it's too strong, come immediately out, otherwise pressing your forearms down. Inhale, lift up so that you've just got your forearms on the mat and your toes on the mat. So press through the heels, lift through the core, so engaging, crown of head forward, breathing. If it's too strong, come down. Otherwise, see if you can hold it just for another few breaths, few moments. Breathing, don't stop breathing. Okay, then exhale, release down from there. No slumping. Good, elbows out towards the sides of the mat. Just take a moment to let that all settle. So as you breathe in, you can probably feel the tummy now in contact with the floor. So tummy pressing down towards the floor on the inhalation. And then it lifts away from the floor a little bit anyway on the exhalation. Good. Okay, let's bring the hands now underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, elbows in, come onto hands and knees, take an inhalation. And exhaling, downward facing dog. And then we're going to inhale the right foot away from the mat. And exhale the right foot just short of your right thumb and hop your left heel to the middle of the mat. So we're going to come into warrior one, those of you familiar. Right knee on top of the right ankle, left heel turned out. Pressing into that left foot. So your left foot's at maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, with the right foot 12 o'clock. Lift the chest, turn the thumbs out, press into that back foot as you inhale, come all the way up from here. So shoulders down, right knee on top of right ankle. We're going to move from our core, so really engaging from your core center. You're going to take an inhalation, and as you exhale, turn the palms forward as you start to straighten that right leg, bringing the fingertips onto the floor. On the inhalation, bend the right knee as you lift the hands back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, folding down again. Let's just do that one more time. So on the inhalation, bend the right knee, press into that back foot, core active, lifting up. And then exhale, folding over that right leg, bringing your hands down onto the floor, having the knee bent if necessary, otherwise straightening that leg. Just folding over that right leg. So right hip drawing back, hugging the right thigh muscle to the thigh bone. Brilliant. And then on your inhalation, lift your head and chest and your left heel, and exhale, bend both knees to be able to bring that left knee down onto the mat, left foot flat. Hands to the heart, use the thumbs to lift the breastbone. Keep the right knee on top of the right ankle, take an inhalation, exhale, twist to your twist to your right. So pressing the outer left arm to outer right thigh. Staying here, or tuck the back toes under and inhale, lift the left knee away from the mat. So you're turning your chest towards the right as if you're bringing your chest to touch your thumbs, shoulders down. So twist, twisting as you press through that left heel. Keep the shoulders away from the ears, breath steady, bit of balance involved here. Good. Take an inhalation, everyone, regardless of where you are. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Here we are back in our downward facing dog, all twisted out now, or half twisted anyway. So we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So we're going to inhale the left foot away from the mat, look forward. And exhale the left foot short of your left thumb as you hop that right heel onto the mat. So your right foot's now about 2 o'clock maybe, 1, 2-ish. Left knee on top of left ankle, turn the thumbs out, press into that back foot and inhale, come all the way up from here into Virabhadrasana 1. So left knee on top of the left ankle, right foot pressing onto the mat, shoulders down. We're going to move with the breath from our core, so we take the inhalation and exhale, fold over this left leg. And then press into the back foot, core active as you inhale, bend the left knee, lift the hands towards the ceiling. And exhale, palms forward, folding down again. One more, so inhaling, bend into that left knee, press into that back foot. And exhale, folding over this left leg. Staying here, maybe that left knee is bent. Some of you can straighten that left leg, forehead maybe towards that left shin. Draw the outer left hip back, pressing into the ball of the left big toe. So awareness of sensation, awareness of your abdomen here in the posture. Playing around with drawing in at the end of the exhalation. Okay, and then with the breath, on the inhalation, start to lift the head and chest, bending that left knee as you lift the right heel. And exhale, let's release the right knee down onto the mat. Hands to the heart, thumbs lifting the breastbone, take a breath in. And exhale, let's twist to the left this time. So left hand on top of right. Chest lifting away from that left thigh and around to the left. Stay there or tuck your right toes under. And inhale that right knee away from the mat. So you're pressing through that right heel, extending the crown of the head forward. So twisting, staying with the breath. So as I said before, there is a degree of balance here. Really press the outer right elbow into the outer left thigh. Keep swiveling the chest towards the thumbs. And then regardless of where you are, take an inhalation and exhale. Let's release from the pose. Coming back into downward facing dog. And then we'll take a breath in to lift the head, and on the exhalation step your right foot probably halfway towards your right hand. And then let's take the left hand onto the left hip as we take the right fingertips ahead of the right foot and off to the right slightly for Ardha Chandrasana. So here we're going to really radiate from our core. So on an inhalation, hop the left foot away from the mat so the left foot is about hip height as best as you can tell. Turn your chest to the left, and as if you are radiating from your very core, extend through your top hand as you extend through your left heel, down through your right heel, out through the crown of the head, and down through your right fingertips, as if you are a star shining brightly in the night sky. And then you might even look up towards that top thumb, noticing a wobble possibly. Brilliant, good, well done. Okay, those of you who have boldly looked up, look down. Take an inhalation and exhale. Gracefully downward facing dog. Hurrah, there we go. Good, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So we're going to inhale the left foot up and exhale the left foot about halfway towards that left hand. We're then going to take the left fingertips off to the left as we bring the right hand to the right hip, press that left foot down and inhale, lift that right foot to hip height, turning the right toes to the right side of the room, pressing through that right heel. That really is your core, as is, well, your key then, as is your core, I should say. So extend the crown of the head forward, tummy active as you reach that right hand towards the ceiling, maybe looking up towards that right thumb, otherwise keep looking down if you're feeling a bit too wobbly. But really extending from your centre in those 5 different directions. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Lovely. Those of you who have boldly looked up, look down. Everyone take an inhalation. And exhale from here into downward facing dog. Brilliant. And then we'll take an inhalation to lift the head, look forward, and as we exhale, walk your feet halfway, both of them this time towards your hands, turn the toes out, and come down into our Malasana squat that we were in yesterday, hands to the heart. And it's possible you stay here squatting. You can come to sit, of course. Otherwise, we might just have a go at our crow pose as we're working with the core. So we might bring our feet together. In fact, I would recommend bringing the feet together. So you've already kind of got your tail sorted. Hand shoulder distance. You need to bend the elbows as if you're bringing your forearms to the mat. That's the mistake people make. They keep their arms straight, which is where you're heading, but not when you start. Elbows also in here, shoulder distance apart. Knees go on the upper outer arms, which can be uncomfortable on the upper outer arms initially. But you really engage your inner thigh muscles and your core as you lift through the hip creases, come right up onto the toes here. Look forward of your hands. If you look at your hands, you're more likely to roll over. So really engage the core. The core is sucking up into the back body as you take the weight into the hands and then tentatively lift the toes away from the mat, bringing the big toes together. So just pausing here, you can really feel, I'm sure, the hands grounded to the floor, gripping here, core active, breathing, don't forget to breathe. Lovely, and then on an exhalation, come down from there, as if none of that ever happened. Fabulous. Okay, and then we're going to come to sit from here. Just now have space behind you as you come forward on your mats. We're going to come into Ubaya Padangusthasana, so we're going to take the index finger and middle fingers. I'm going to wrap them around the big toe with the thumbs, which apparently has an effect on your solar plexus actually, just that grip. So there we go. You might just stay here therefore, with the knees apart, lifting the chest, or we might inhale the heels away from the mat. Pressure's on here as we work towards straightening the legs without losing our balance. But if you did just lose your balance there, don't worry, you're just going to roll around for a bit, aren't you? But we're going to lift the chest, drop the shoulders down away from the ears, have the knees bent if you need to have the knees bent. Engaging the core, so really lifting up here. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And then we're going to take it into Navasana, the boat pose from here. So we might take an inhalation and exhale, bend the knees as we take hold of the back of the thighs. Those of you more hardcore, well, mind you, is it more hardcore? I don't know. You might keep your legs extended, but if you start to collapse in the lower back, I would encourage you to bend the knees and lift the chest towards the knees. Legs together, feet active, arms out if that's okay for you to do so. Well, it's not so much is it okay for you to do so, but can you do it? Because it might not feel the most comfortable position to find yourself in. As we strengthen the heart, well, not so much the heart, we do strengthen the heart actually by staying here, but more so this pose takes us to the very core of our being as knees towards chest, chest to knees, breathing, boat pose. Good, and then on the exhalation, releasing the feet down onto the mat, hands either side of your hips, press your hands down, and inhale, lift the buttocks away from the mat. And then we're going to straighten the legs from here, sitting tall, so just sitting tall on the sitting bones. If you need to sit up on anything, then do. Legs straight. We're going to try and keep the spine lengthening as we lift the hands towards the ceiling. We're going to take an inhalation. And on the exhalation, leading with the heart, so lengthening through your spine and lengthening through the front body as well. So trying to resist the temptation to round the spine, to bring your head down towards your knees. It's more important that we lengthen the front body over the legs. Okay, just having your hands wherever you need to be able to do that. Just lengthening forehead towards the shins if that's okay for you to do so. So Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Keeping the breath steady. Just a few conscious rounds of breath here. Okay, and then wherever you happen to be holding on to, just releasing. And let's extend the hands forward and then take an inhalation, lift the hands all the way up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release your hands to the back of the body. So let's have the hands about shoulder distance apart with the fingers pointing forward, and then let's bend the knees and bring the feet about hip distance apart for tabletop. So again, moving from your core if you can, albeit that we're also working here, to root down through the feet and open into the heart. So press the hands down, press the feet down, and take an inhalation, come into tabletop, just looking perhaps forward towards your knees, engaging through the core, pressing the knees forward, opening into the heart, breathing, and then on your exhalation, releasing down from there. Okay, we're going to take a twist from here. So we're going to extend the left leg forward, we're going to bend the right knee and take the right foot to the outside of the left leg. Let's turn around so you can see more easily. And then by all means, those of you that feel that you can, depending on how you've been going the last couple of days, you might take that left foot to the outer right hip here. So Adho Matsyendrasana. Hands to that front shin to extend through the crown of the head. Make sure both sitting bones are flat to the mat. If your right one's lifted up, then I suggest lengthening that left leg forward. We're going to keep the left hand here as we raise the right hand. Take an inhalation and exhale that right hand to the back of the body. Supporting yourself, so that right hand is supporting the length through the spine. We'll inhale the left arm up and exhale, either hooking the outer left elbow to outer right thigh here, or we might just hug that right knee in towards the chest, towards the left side of the chest. So grounding down, take an inhalation, lengthen through the crown of the head. And exhale, let's revolve towards the right. So chest towards the right, perhaps then looking out over your right shoulder. So keeping the breath steady. So the inhalation you expand, and the exhalation you twist into that space. And then with the breath, ground down, and on an inhalation, lift through the crown of the head, lift through your left arm, and exhale, come back to the centre. And then we'll just swap from there, so releasing the legs. We'll start with the right leg out, and we'll take the left foot to the outside of that right leg, and then if it feels okay to do so, bend that right knee, and let's take that right heel to the outer left hip there. So hands to that front shin and lift through the crown of the head, chest open. Keep the right hand there as you lift your left arm. Take an inhalation and exhale the left hand to the back of the body. Inhale, extend through the crown of the head, and exhale, let's twist. So right elbow to outer left thigh, or just hug that left knee in towards the right side of the chest. So chest to the left, maybe looking out over your left shoulder. So on the other side, we're working with the ascending colon, and now working with the descending colon. So these twisting poses helping to wringing out the internal organs, so they help to increase health, well-being generally, by massaging and helping to heal anything that needs healing, fresh blood to the organs when we release, but also increasing flexibility through the spine, so supporting your nervous system. Energetically helping to release little energetic blockages as well, so twisting is great. Okay, so let's ground down now. Let's release as we extend on an inhalation through the crown of the head and through the right hand. And then exhale, unraveling, coming back to the center, releasing your legs. And then we're going to come down to lie on our backs. We might come down through half boat pose, which is said to support the liver. So I like to think of it as the I love my liver pose. So we might inhale back into our starting position for Navasana, taking the arms out. Take another inhalation, then exhale as you straighten the legs. Keep the core active, squeeze the legs together, look at your big toes. If you find this is really not working for you, come immediately down to lie on your backs. Otherwise, see if you can lift the corners of your mouth, and a joyful smile, I love my liver, is your mantra before releasing on an exhalation, coming all the way down from there. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And then our final twist, so let's inhale the knees in towards the chest. If you happen to have a block or something you can take between your inner thighs, that would be great, just to really encourage you to engage your inner thighs. But otherwise, keep the knees together, feet together, arms at shoulder height, press the shoulders down to support through the shoulder joints, take a breath in, and breathe out the knees towards the left elbow, just hovering the knees above that left elbow, pressing the right shoulder down. Inhale, come back to the center. And exhale your knees towards your right elbow, pressing your left shoulder down. So Jadhara Parivartanasana, inhaling back to the center, use your core. Exhaling knees over towards the left, hovering right shoulder on the mat. Inhaling to the center. Exhaling knees over towards the right. Last ones, inhaling to the center. Exhaling knees over to the left. Inhaling to the center and exhaling knees to the right. Inhale back to the center. Little massage through the lower back before releasing on an exhalation and resting. So shoulders away from the ears, lengthening through the lower back, feet apart from one another. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. By all means, if you would like to bring your hands to rest on your tummy, then do, especially those of you Reiki attuned. have time available to you, I'd really recommend staying here for another 5 to 10 minutes or longer if you can. Otherwise, those of you who need to release now, just inhaling the knees in towards the chest, and then exhaling, rolling over to one side of the body, bringing yourself up to sit in any comfortable seated position. Hands together at the heart, dropping the chin towards the chest, and namaste. Well done. Thank you.